Hi and welcome to episode 62 of the Arya Bark Podcast. My name's Caroline.
And I'm Andrew.
And we're coming to you today from our home in Fife in Scotland. If you're a new viewer, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. It's great to have you here.
Yes it is. Or as the French would say, oui oui. I also don't know, say yes it is in French, so that's why I just went oui oui, yes.
We are hoping that this will be a slightly shorter episode because I've not knitted much. And what's that face for? How long have you been knitting on the one project?
I am now the world's slowest knitter.
Yes. And I have that many projects, I have that many WIPs. I have now become officially overwhelmed by them all.
I got overwhelmed by two.
I've got overwhelmed by
one.
a garter stitch blanket.
Because it just keeps going and I want it to end.
The thing is, see the more you knit on it, the quicker it is going to end.
But the more I knit on it, the more I get bored because it doesn't end.
You can find detailed show notes on the Arya Bark website, which is aryabark.co.uk. I will leave links down below to where you can find them. I think I've decided that I'm going to do a blog post every week. So the link for them will be in the show notes down below. You can find me on Ravelry as either Arya Bark or my personal account, which is Sultra.
I'm PlumberBoy21. I had to look that.
Yes, you did.
I forget.
We have a Ravelry group, which is Arya Bark Podcast. We have a private group on the website for anyone who would like to take part in make-alongs and chatter and other stuff. If you've already signed up, you just press login. If you would like to sign up, you can go to the community tab, then groups. We will ask you a few questions, make sure that you're a crafter. And once you submit your form, obviously, you'll get an email back from us.
I don't know what an email is.
Right, can I just point out these needles are quite sharp and I'm about to impale you. Once you've submitted the form, we will email you back to let you know that you can sign in. We have our Instagram page, which is Arya Bark Designs. We have our Facebook page, which is Arya Bark Designs, and we have a Ko-fi page, which is Arya Bark Designs.
I don't know what Ko-fi sounds like. It sounds like coffee, so I was going. That's Ko-fi.
Ko-fi.
Oh yeah, it's me. I thought we were just taking a wee breather.
No!
We are currently running two make-alongs, the first of which is the hashtag ABD/MASH2022.
Can I point out we are now coming into May, and every time Andrew says the ABD/MASH, he says 2021.
Hey, I don't know what month that is. Oh, the years run together. It started...
That's generally how time works.
It started on the 1st of January and ends on the 31st of December. You must be a member of either the Ravelry group or the private group on the website via an entered account. Physical prizes will be drawn quarterly. Physical prizes for the FO thread. The winner for that will be chosen by a random number generator. Then Mr. Bark and myself, which is an entry each month.
Entries.
I have no recollection of what I'm doing. Anyway,
right, can I just clarify something? Prizes are drawn quarterly.
Right.
How many months are in a quarter?
4.
3.
3. What?
3 months in every quarter, and there's 4 quarters. Right? So if you're doing the draws quarterly, there will be 3 entries for the monthly prize.
Mm-hmm. Well, 3, you lucky people. And the winner for that will receive a pattern of their choice up to the value of £10. Ding, 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 ding. Cash noises. You don't have a soundboard. I'm the soundboard. WIPs are allowed and multiple dipping is encouraged, as long as it can be measured in metres and it can be entered. So knitting, crochet, knitting, crochet, weaving, spinning and cross stitch, if it can be measured in metres. I'm hoping one day there will be a cross stitcher. I can only
Do you need to do it yourself?
I had a look at it, it looks hard now.
It's really no.
Goals. Sorry, I've hurt my nose. Goals are at your own discretion and you can increase and decrease whenever you like, and each person entering will have one FO thread post that all projects will be logged in. That's me logging in. Internet joke. The next make along is the hashtag Yappy and Scrappy Blanket Make Along 2022. It starts on the 1st of January, so it started on the 1st of January, English, and it ends again on the 31st of December. It runs for a year. You must be a member of either the Ravelry group or again the private group on the website for your ancient account. Prizes are drawn quarterly. Physical prizes for this one's FO thread as chosen by random number generator. Then Mr. Bark and myself will choose entries for each month, again from this one's chatter thread. They're different. Might put them in all, double your chances. And the winner will again receive a pattern of their choice up to the value of £10, because we like repetition, because then I don't forget things. I do, but...
Like what year the make-along's running in?
Years change. I forget. WIPs are allowed and multiple cat hairs in my mouth. Dipping is encouraged.
Stop licking the cat and then you won't get cat hairs in your mouth.
The only rule is the blanket must be a minimum size of 16 inches by 16 inches to qualify, and there's no maximum size for your blanket. It's the crafter's choice. So again, for you and a friend, you and your loved ones, the street, for your pets, for the world. You can give all the knitters in the world knitted, they can make like a massive blanket.
Possibly. Make sure when you're putting your inches into the FO thread that you're also placing them into the charter thread to double your chances of winning a prize. Plus, I like to comment, and I can't do that in the FO threads because the FO threads are no charter threads. When you're using the hashtags on Instagram, make sure that you're using the correct ones. They can be found down below. Obviously, they're also up above while we're discussing them. Yeah. Because I can't see your projects if it's not using the right hashtag. This week we have coming in Naughty Corner.
It's been naughty.
You'll see. WIPs and lined up. This week there's just a lot of knitting. Well, there's not that much knitting, but there's quite a bit of knitting.
It's all knitting, there's just not a lot of them.
Yeah, it's all knitting, just not a lot of them. And timestamps for each sections can be found in the description box below.
So, for my mother's birthday, that was like a week ago, she wanted universe pins because obviously she's addicted.
Universe can be found on Etsy. They are permanently linked below in the show notes. Craig's wonderful.
Yeah. So she wanted 2 pins, and I was really nice because I was looking on it and go, oh, the 2 pins she wanted, there's a sticker. I'll be nice and get her a sticker. I asked her, do you have the sticker? She's like, no. She's like, we'll get you the sticker. She's like, oh. So the first two are, where's the camera? There. Crazy Sheep Lady, and there's a black sheep and a white sheep.
Thank you, Andrew.
You're welcome. And then there's this very, very shiny and sparkly Crazy Sheep Lady sticker. His wee eyes. Crazy eyes. I then also, because I was there.
Sheep have it as well.
Did they?
Oh, crazy eyes.
Because I was there, I already got a sheep sticker for my tablet. I thought, it's looking pretty bare, I'll get some of my own stickers. So these, I didn't wait to show on the podcast before I stuck them on. I've obviously got my, didn't get this one, but that was last one's. I've got depleted wee sheep. That writing at the background is actually just the make of the tablet. I used sticker to cover it. He's a wee half empty sheep, or half full, however way you look at it. And a wee Scotland sticker that's kind of hanging off the tablet because I have nowhere else to put them. Because I would have put them on my Xbox, but there's no room on that. So it goes on my tablet because I always have my tablet with me. And they're very shiny.
The Sheep Lover Society one's quite shiny. Thank you very much, Andrew, for my birthday gifts. It is very much appreciated.
I should have technically asked you for what you wanted before your birthday and not on your birthday.
And not the day before.
Was it the day before? I'm pretty sure I've phoned you on the day going, yeah, so what do you want for your birthday?
No, it was the day before
Was it?
my birthday that you asked what I wanted for my birthday. Your organisational skills has not gotten any better.
To be fair, you're lucky I remembered your birthday.
We were half expecting Andrew to forget my birthday because, let's face it wouldn't be unlike him.
I forget everything. I was on the phone to texting Ryan being like, oh, YouTube Premium's ran out, that's fine, get paid tonight, I'll get it tomorrow, back, boom, put it in. Then he was like, right, mind your mum's birthday, and I was like, there won't be any YouTube Premium. Because I forgot.
Yes, despite the fact that the 2 weeks prior he was told, remember my birthday, and the week before he was told, remember my birthday, and we've got video evidence because we sat arguing about how far away my birthday was. My next coming in, I've not bought any wool, feeling slightly smug. Hi.
Nah, I doubt that.
Well, I have, but again, it's my yarn corner move. It falls under the rule of my yarny corner. It's not stash. They're pretty ornaments. All last week and the week before, I have been working through my stash and pairing up what stash I have with patterns. Now this came about because what had I gone? I like to keep a list of patterns that I'm going to be working on coming up, and I happened to notice that in the list it was like, well, that pattern won't work because I'm using the yarn for that for something else. And I thought, do you know what, I'm going to make up a list of the yarn that I've got and have it assigned to a pattern. So I started making up project pages and like hibernating them all, and then somebody came up with a better idea of put them in the queue and attach the yarn to it through the queue. So for the last 3 days I've been going back in and deleting the project page and putting it on a queue. So I was working through and I thought, oh, I could use that. Oh, I'm going to need some more wool. Put that in my basket on my warehouse. Oh, I could do that. oh, I could use this colour and buy 6 balls and put it in my basket. And on Thursday I'd went on and I was like, well, by this point I think the list of projects was up to 86. And I was like, do you know what, there isn't much point going and ordering more wool when I have 86 projects with wool that's already in the house. So I've marked the ones that are needing additional wool brought in for them, and they'll go to the bottom of the queue, and when I start taking stuff out my stash, then I can consider buying other ones. So I was on Wool Warehouse and I can't even remember I'd went on. While I was on, I thought, you know what, I'm going to pick up an extra couple of needles. So I put needles on and they were in the basket. I think it came to about £36 for 3 needles.
Ouch.
I was like, I could buy a whole set for £36. And I'd scrolled down a bit and then I seen a set of needles for, I think it was like 20 odd pound. Can't mind what the odd part is, but it was like under £25. And they're these. Now these are Drops Classic. It's Knit Pro. Myself, who else? Sue and Denise from Dear Designs were discussing these needles, and we have come to the conclusion that we think they might be Knit Pro Novas. On the cable, now this is going to be a bit crinkly, you'll see like here there's writing. I don't know, probably won't focus, but if you look hard enough it says Knit Pro, so clearly they're Knit Pro needles. Now with the set you get one 60cm, which is a 24-inch cord, two 80cm or 32-inch cords, and one 100cm or a 40-inch cord. The needles you get a 3.5, a 4, a 4.5, a 5, a 5.5, a 6, a 7 and an 8mm needle. The needles are quite nice. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm not expecting great things for them. Sue did say she's had hers for a while and they're fine. To be honest, I only need these as a backup for when I actually run out of needles. I do have, now what needles have I got? I've got my 2 sets of higher. Is you on there?
No. You'll see.
I've got my 2 sets of higher. Actually, that's not right. I've got two sets. I've got 2 sets of the sock needles, 2 sets of the small tips. So that's like a 2. Does that come in? That's like your mid section, and then I've got 2 sets of the thicker needles. That's a bit excessive. And I've got my set of the Nitros.
For you it's not. For you it's necessary. The amount of projects you have.
Well, there's that, and plus the fact at the casting party I had to pick projects that didn't require any needles that I was already using. Now I can cast on with wild abandon. So I've got other needles and cords. Well, actually it wasn't the needles that I had a problem with, it was the cords. So I purchased them and I'll give them a try on one of the projects I've got lined up. I think I need to go back and check. I know one of the needles is going to work. One of the needles will be fine, it's the weird needle that I'll need to check. So that was them. I'm not going to link the needles in the show notes because, let's be honest, I think everybody knows how to get onto the warehouse.
Some people need to be banned.
Hey, apart from my birthday present, that was the first time I'd been on Wool Warehouse in a while.
Because they banned her.
They didn't ban me, I banned myself. As you know, was it last week? Yes, last week. Scalegra is no longer in the naughty corner. It has been brought out. I have ripped it back. I'd originally ripped it back because I'd managed to muck up the lace. So I ripped it out, plus I wanted, because of the problem... What problem was it with the gauge? Oh yeah. Because of the sea glass hat, I wanted to check the gauge. The gauge is fine. It's a tad out. I will have to check what size I'm going to have to do. I would like to thank Mandy from Mouse's Makes for helping me trying to figure out what size I should be doing. I did confuse her slightly. Apologies. However, she did help me work out what I was needing to do, so I now know roughly what size I need to do. I just need to confirm it, and I'm basically using the needle sizes that it recommends. Mustard shawl, absolutely no progress has been made on that as yet, so that can still stay in the naughty corner until such times as I can be bothered to figure out what I'm needing to do on that. However, there is a new project in the naughty corner, and it is, yes,
Me. No.
Andrew. Close enough. It's Andrew's cardigan. Again, I would like to preference this by saying it is not... I can't even find the right way around. It is not a problem with the pattern. It's a problem with me.
Isn't that while being on horomorphine again?
No, or a morph.
Or a morph.
Am I in the middle of a row?
Probably.
I can't show you where I was last week because the stitch marker is no longer there. Let's put it this way, it's about a dozen rows shorter than where the stitch marker was last time.
Ouch.
This is Great Love by Anka's Trick. It is a paid for pattern on Ravelry. If there is somewhere else you can get it, might be Lovecraft's. Could possibly be Lovecraft's, but it will be linked down below. I had been working on it at the beginning of the week. Actually, it wasn't. I think it was on Sunday. I was working on it while I was fixing the video. And I'd been working along, and the way I turned it, I'm looking, I'm going, why is that pattern went ski with? Now, obviously, from the front, it's obviously, it doesn't look great because obviously it's not being blocked. But when you block it, obviously it'll stretch a wee bit. On the inside, right, I am slightly concerned that that's a bit too far right off. So on the inside, actually you can see it there. Right, see here. Have a look in here, and then look here.
I thought I was going to sneeze.
right? You can see how from here to here, there's obviously something wrong with that pattern. Can you see it?
No. Totally blind.
Right, look how it's working up here, right? You've got diagonal lines going up. It goes up to about here, and then it just goes straight up.
No, I think I see it, yeah.
Can you see it?
There's certain bits, like over there's 3, and there's only 2 down here. By the looks of it.
I don't know what I have done, but whatever I did, it's no right. Now, at this point, that part was fine. It happened further up, so I ripped it back to where I'd started it, done it again, it went like that, ripped it back again, thought, right, well obviously there's something to do with when I pick it back up. Ripped it back again, done it again, went down another couple of, I'm now 12 rows past where I was previously, and every time I do it I end up like that, and it's starting to annoy me.
It's fine, just it's part of the
Andrew
pattern.
may possibly get a cropped cardigan.
That's fine. Just keep going, it doesn't matter if the thingy changes.
It does, cause it's blatantly obvious.
No, because it'll be like, you know...
Because that's it there, you can see it there, it's not lining up properly, and on this side, it looks wrong.
Because it'll go, halfway down my back, and then the bottom of it will look like it's a different bit of material. It's fashion.
So,
It's fashion.
it's in the naughty corner. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Obviously I'm needing to take it back. I don't even have a stitch marker where I can see. Ken what? See if you look at it.
What?
I think it started to go squiffy about there. Do I have a stitch marker? I may need to steal a stitch marker.
I've got stitch markers.
Do you have a colourful one? Really to the rescue again.
Oh.
I'm definitely going to take it back to here.
No, I is done.
Definitely going to take it back to here. Because that seems to be where it starts going wrong. Because it's wrong there. Yes, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it back to there. Will I be doing it right now? No, I won't, because it's doing my head in. The pattern is enjoyable.
Just not when it mucks up.
Not when it mucks up. I think... Who was I speaking to? Was it Heather? Speaking to Heather during the week, and I'd said to her, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, because right now it's coming very close to being set on fire.
Set fire to my cardigan.
Yep. I don't know whether to put the sleeves on. It's not that I don't like the pattern. I think the fact that every time I try to fix it, it doesn't fix. It just gets worse. It's starting to annoy me. So we've been talking, and I don't know if I had said to her, do you think I should put the sleeves on? Or if she says, what about putting the sleeves on? But somebody mentioned putting sleeves on.
There were sleeves mentioned.
Sleeves were mentioned. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the sleeves at some point. Then I'm going to... Obviously I'll rip it back first. I'm going to stick a lifeline in, which will make it so much easier. Then what I'll do is start working on the body, and hopefully I will not have the same issues. because if it mucks up one more time, I'm likely just to rip it out and Andrew can get no cardigan. You can get a flax.
A what?
A jumper. You're not getting a cardigan, you're getting a jumper. We need pattern on it.
Knit one.
Knit it yourself. You want a jumper, I'll give you the wool, you knit it on your own. I'm not going to run through, obviously, modifications and yarn and stuff like that because...
It's in the naughty corner.
It's in the naughty corner.
It's naughty.
It's been naughty. It doesn't get to shine. However, if you are interested in making the Great Love, it is a paid for pattern on Ravelry and on... pretty sure it's Love Crafts. It is enjoyable if you can follow a pattern. Unfortunately, it seems that I can't follow a pattern, which is part of the problem. My first WIP is my Lysiantha socks by Becky Norman. My goal was to get 1.5 repeats done. I don't know if I did or not. No, I got half a repeat done. Did I get half a repeat done? No, I didn't, because I've only worked on this sock. I think I've got about 1 row on this. However, on the other sock, this was where I was last week, and I have done 2 repeats. And wait a minute, because I'm about to pull that, and I am working on
my heel.
I have done the heel, integrated heel stand out bits.
Stand out bits.
Up there will be what it's actually called.
I'm thinking of the integrated heel extend out bits.
I'm pretty sure in Albina's pattern it does not say integrated heel extended out bits. Whatever it's called, it'll be. And I am doing the heel turn, and I'm loving it. It's that bit I'm talking about. I think it's that the gusset increases or something. I don't know. I've done the increases because that's the back of the sock. So I've done the increases at the back. Is it at the back or is it at the front? I've done the increases. You can see it there. I've done the increase on that side and the increase that way. And it did take a few minutes. By a few, read 15 to 20 for me to figure out how I go from that to the increases, because for some reason I genuinely thought, I'll put it on my hand, I know my increases are wonky, it does get slightly better down here but not by much. How to get that to come down, if that's the heel, it would be to go down that way. I was like, oh, I don't know how to do it. And then I thought, right, do you know what? I'm going to speak to Albina and ask her how do I get, if I'm not using the right heel, because I think the pattern calls for a heel flap and gusset or some sort of afterthought heel. And I was like, I'm not wanting an afterthought heel. I want a pair of integrated socks. So then I looked at the picture of the Lysiantha socks with the heel flapping gusset on it, and I was like, well, that makes it even easier because it doesn't. This pattern doesn't carry on down the foot. So I'll finish off doing the heel on this one. Actually, I'll finish this entire sock. that's my plan, to get this one sock done. Fingers crossed I might actually be able to get 2 done, but if not, I'm not going to worry about it. I had originally been doing it on a 30 magic loop and a 32-inch cord, and this bit down the side is a colossal pain in the backside. So you work it for there, and then when you get to this side, you stop right on these eyelets. Now, as you can see, wait a minute, I'll stick my hand in the right end. Right, so open it out. So, what way did I work it? Right, so you start off here, right, and as you can see, the increases here are on the right, and these ones here are all over the place. On this side, it's the same thing. Is that right, or is that just the same side I showed you?
No, different.
It's different now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is the side where you're leaving. She tells you to do the double eyelet, and it's all over the place. At the bottom, it got slightly better because I just made it up as I went along. I think once it's on, it's still going to look wonky. I know when I was speaking to Denise about it, Denise had said that if she was going to do it again, she would have took that part out. See, to be honest with you, I think I would be the same and take it out because it's just incredibly faffy. This part was, the pattern down it is really enjoyable. I have really enjoyed doing the pattern, and obviously it continues all the way down the foot. I just don't think I would do the bit at the side. That wasn't as enjoyable. Modifications, I am doing the integrated heel by Albina McLaughlin. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I did manage to do the increases without looking at the pattern, 3 rounds without using the pattern, and thought, that's not looking right. So I went back and read it, and I'd literally increased on the wrong side of the marker. So took it back and done it properly. I had to refresh my memory on how to do the heel turn. I don't need the pattern now for that, and when I pick it back up, I'll reread it again. And again, I don't think I'm going to need it, because I think once you do the decreases, once you do the short rows, that's you done, and then you've got the same number of stitches. So I am using my Yarny Corner in shade Zebra, which is an 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. You get 360 metres and 100 grams. It's soft as butter. It is really, really nice. These are going to be really comfy socks once they're finished.
I keep sliding off the couch.
Did you say you nearly fell off the couch?
No, I said I keep sliding off the couch.
So the plan will be to finish this first sock. That's my goal, to finish this first sock and then restart the second sock back up and get that finished. I have decided, the problem I've had this week is I have that many projects on the go, I can't decide what to work on, and it is starting to cause me anxiety. Now, I was going to say I'm not casting anything else on, however, However, there may be a couple of projects, a couple of make-alongs starting tomorrow that I want to participate in, which involve, one of them doesn't involve me casting anything on, however one of them will involve me casting something on. So again, speaking to my lovely friend Heather, we worked out a plan. I am only going to work on, I think it was 4. Is it 4? I think it was 4 projects a week. Obviously I can't knit on something all day because it would annoy me. So the plan will be every day I will have 2 projects that I work on. I'll have one that I work on in the morning and one that I work on at night.
What?
And the plan will be to work on the 4 projects alternate days. The plan for the upcoming week will be the 3 projects that I speak about today and one of the projects I'm lined up, and I'll work on them every single day until I can get them done. Now if I do that, I think there is every chance that I might be able to get 1, if not 2 projects finished by next week. Obviously the 4th project would have to be started, and obviously I'm currently swatching. So that's my plan for that one. And I never even checked to make sure I was using the right size needle. No, I'm not. The Lysiantha socks is a paid for pattern on Ravelry, and the integrated heel socks is a paid for pattern on Ravelry. Again, they'll be linked in the show notes. I can highly recommend both patterns. They have been enjoyable. I have gone from doing a 32-inch cord down to doing them on a 9-inch circular. It makes it so much easier. So once I've finished the first sock, I'll move the second sock over to the 9-inch circular and do it on that. The goal will be to have 1, if not both socks finished for when we record next week. You're a muppet! My next project is my summer t-shirt by Vera Sanin. This is it here. This is where I was last week. I'll hold it up that way because that way you'll be able to see better. This is where I was last week. I have put 1.5 inches on it. Now the goal for this week was to have all the raglan increases done. They're not. Let's be honest, they're really not.
Some fun in the background.
I'm still enjoying the pattern. I am surprised that the raglans are actually working properly and they've not went squiffy. And just to prove it, non-squiffy raglans. Rather proud of myself. Saying that, when it comes to doing the rocket tee, I think I may do 2 stitches in between because I think it'd look nicer. Or 2 stitches with a cable. And I'm just randomly saying stuff to see what actions he's going to come up with.
Some of them are hard, I have to think.
Modifications, absolutely none. However, I'm going to do the sleeves slightly longer than what it says in the patterns. I think it's sort of like the sleeves finished sort of up here. I'm going to do maybe a couple of inches. Zapping when he's on the mic. Right, enough.
Blood.
I am doing a size 6 or a large, and it's a 44 inch. Yarn that I'm using is, and I've gone and lost the ball band again. Well, that's just peachy. It is Drops Cotton Merino in shade 21, which is Heather. It's a 50% cotton, 50% merino, and you get 110 metres in 50 grams. I am using a 3.75 higher sharp on a 32 inch cord. Something's molten. And the goal for next week will be to get the raglan increases finished. I will get them finished if it kills me.
Isn't raglan when you take like a chunk at a wall?
What?
Raglan. Isn't that when you take like a chunk at a wall?
Raglan's that. So that's the sleeve. A raglan comes down like that.
Oh, I thought raglan was when you took a chunk, like you knocked out a section of wall and popped the pipe in it or some cable.
I don't know. No, pass. The summer tee is a paid for pattern on Ravelry. If there is anywhere else to get it, I will leave links down below. And guess what, Batman?
I am Batman.
It's your turn.
Turn. My next WIP in my lovely bag from
Really?
Thought that, just wanted to be sure. Is my, like we said, Gertrude baby blanket that is so close to being done. I just want it to be done. Just want it to be done. I'm done.
Have you measured it?
Well, I could technically finish here because it is a reasonable size.
Table.
No, I've got to tape measure in my
There is a tape measure on that table.
emotions pouch. Woo. I don't know these. I like these tape measures because you can go the guy and goes, woo. That's all.
Until it doesn't.
I don't know. It's my fault. Like Ellie chewed it.
No, the pom pom fell off.
Ah well. Then you turn into a badge.
Andrew, go pass it over.
About 26 inches. Said about. Probably done it wrong.
It's 22 inches. You could technically at that point. Are you on the front or are you on the back?
I'm on the, doesn't matter because each side does the same.
Is this, how did you cast it on?
That way. With a needle.
Right, so...
Yeah, needle that in,
yeah. See, at this point, I would do... So that'll be the front. What I would do is go back across and then bind off. So work across this way, then bind off that way. And that'll be you done.
Could we have a finished episode? Finished episode.
There's a goal for you.
Our viewers want a finished episode.
Can Andrew get that project finished by the end of this episode?
Andrew doesn't know how to bind off. Andrew believes
Do you know
him.
how many stitches you cast on?
Not a clue.
Could you, before you start working on that, can you count how many stitches you cast on?
No. Garter baby stitch blanket. The yarn is unknown DK yarn from. It's using unknown DK, that's what I was looking for, from Raylene. So this wee tiny ball I've got left, and this one, don't know what they're called, but they're pretty. That is what I have left of the blue with splodges in them. Wee bits, don't know what they're called either. I'm using 4.5 Knit Pro Symphony Straights. The project is not on Ravelry because it's from my brain. So,
you cast on 90 stitches.
right. And that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know.
Here they are.
90 stitches. So at this point, Andrew is going to try and finish a project while we are
Dun, 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 dun.
while we are recording. Malon, my next project has had the most pitiful amount of work done on it imaginable. And I've had the sudden, I did. The sum total of the amount of rows that I've put on my next project is 7 rows. Saying that, I did only pick it up yesterday. This is the Bridge Before Home cowl, and it is an amalgamation of the Bridge Before Home socks by Angela McGowan. I am going to leave a picture in so you can see what the socks are like. Love that part. And it's made up. What the hang happened there? I think I've twisted a stitch. Yes, so it's the Bridge Before Home socks and the Sockhead cowl by Kelly McClure. I love that part. It's my happy place. I did muck up, as per usual. I wasn't concentrating it and I mucked it up. And it basically sat, because by this point I was just thoroughly annoyed. Because I think, what else had I mucked up on? Mucked socks up, I mucked Andrew's cardigan up, I mucked this up, and there was something else that I'd worked on and that got mucked up, and I was like, do you know what, I've had enough.
Sorry, I'm trying to stop a sneeze. Also, I'm not going to finish this by the end of the thingy because I'm just going to keep going, because then it wouldn't be symmetrical and it would annoy me.
It's not going to be symmetrical either.
It will do.
It
no,
won't.
Not like symmetrical as in long ways, but as in each section will be the same. Because
then you're going to know. Then it's going to look like a scarf.
You're going to look like a scarf.
Have you counted how many rows you've done?
Yeah, I'm just going to bind off.
Finish that row and then bind it off.
Bind you.
And now, again, with the interruptions.
Start again then.
At that point, I'd been thoroughly ticked off that everything I was touching, I was mucking it up. So, I never touched anything for 2 days. I just worked on marrying up patterns with sock yarn. Picked it up yesterday, and the row that I'd mucked up I fixed, and this is how much I got done. I was there and I've done all that. So I'm really, 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 really happy. This is going to be the other project that goes into my 4 project, well, it's not 4, it's 4 project rotation, but I'm going to be doing 2 projects every day. So the first day will be the Lysiantha socks and the summer t-shirt, and the second day will be this and the first project in my lined up. I have this much yarn left to go, and then I can add in the second ball. I have made a note of how much I used for this, so I'll be able to work until I've got to the right amount. I can't for the life of me remember what it is, but I have written it down. And then I'll add that on. So yes, this is Nitpicks Felice in shade River Rock. It is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. You get, I think, it's 199 metres and 50 grams or 218 yards. I am using a 2.25mm for the ribbon and a 2.75mm higher sharp on a 16-inch cord for the body. My goal will be to have the goal's going to be to get the body of the cowl done, and that will just give me the 4 inches ribbon. The Bridge Before Home socks are a paid for pattern on Ravelry, and the sockhead cowl is a free pattern. If there's anywhere else you can purchase the patterns, I don't think Angela's socks you can purchase them anywhere else. I will check. And the sockhead cowl, you can get that from the Boho Knits website. The lovely Alex from My Yarny Corner is starting a make along as of tomorrow. It is the, I will leave details up above, it is the hashtag inspiration make along. It runs from the 1st of May to the 31st of September, and it's to showcase who is inspiring your makes. Now, I think she says it's open to any craft. I would personally check Alex's podcast, or actually no, on Instagram during the week Alex and Danny did a post, Instagram live, and I'm pretty sure it was spoken about there. So basically, if you've been inspired by someone to cast something on, or whatever the other terms are for other crafts, then all you do is you tag the person who inspired you to cast it on, and that's your entry. And preferably a picture of your project. That would work. The next make along is being run by Mouse's Makes on YouTube, the lovely Mandy, and her make along runs from the 1st of May again until the 31st of August, and it is the hashtag knitting with Ukraine. The purpose of this knit along is to support Ukrainian designers and showcase some of their fabulous work. Now, I'll leave, I think it was the one during the week. I will leave details of where you actually, I'll link Alex's podcast in the Instagram post, well, our link on Instagram, as well as Mandy's video, where you can get details of this, because as you can figure out, my memory is no fantastic. However, the point is you tag the Ukrainian designer. Now, Mandy does explain how to get where the designer comes from, so that you are choosing Ukrainian designers. I may or may not have fell down a bit of a rabbit hole, but I'm trying to be purposeful with my making. So I think I narrowed it down to about 3 or 4 patterns, and I was looking in each one, and I happened to notice, obviously on Ravelry you have the name and then the designer and then where it's published. So it's either going to be in that designer's Ravelry shop, or in a magazine, or in a book. And I noticed that this summer, is it Summer Knits? I'll leave a bit up there what it was called. That had been mentioned a couple of times, and I was like, look. And for the 3 patterns, I think it was 3 or 4 patterns that I'd been looking at, they were all in the same publication. I was like, well, that narrows that one down, I'll just buy the entire publication. Rather than choosing between a pattern, I'll just buy them all. What I will say, or maybe an idea to tell you what pattern I'm talking about. So I'll stick a picture in and I'll leave details up above. My first cast on is going to be Papillion by Svetlana Volkova. I'll leave a picture in. That top is stunning. Now the pattern itself is, I think it works out to be £5.44, or for £14.36 or 38, something like that, you can get 7 patterns. Now, had I thought about it, I could have bought all 4 patterns at full price, but that didn't go through my head at the time. It works out for the 7 patterns, you're paying £2.13 a pattern, which is scandalous for these patterns. But it does mean that I can knit the 4 that I liked. So the first one's going to be the Papillion. For that, I am going to be using Stenley Yarns Katrina. Now, it took a lot of effort to figure out what that said. And it is here. Sorry, I'm doing a swatch. I'm swatching. This is 100% acrylic. You get 1,200 metres and 200 grams. It's fairly soft. I have 2 cakes. So I'm going to hold it double and I will adjust what size of pattern that I need by my gauge. So Mandy, I'm using your tip again. This time I won't confuse you. I have written it down. I know how to do it on my own. So the shade is CG 210 and it's a dark grey. Possible modifications that I'm going to do is make it slightly longer, and obviously I don't need anything sitting at the top of my hips. I need it to be a wee bit longer. And I did have a read through the pattern while I was working on the ribbon, and it does have waist shaping in it. I do not need it cinching in as much as what the pattern does, so I'm going to omit the waist shaping, and that way it should fit the way I'm wanting it to fit. I've not confirmed what needle sizes that I need. Obviously I will do that later. Obviously I'm still working on the swatch just now. And again, it's a paid for pattern on Ravelry. I don't think there's anywhere else that you can get the pattern, but if I do manage to find somewhere, then I will update the show notes next week. But at present, the only place I've been able to find this pattern is on Ravelry. So my next project is a pair of socks, and obviously I'm not going to be casting these on right away. I think what I'll do is I'll cast them on once I get the Lizzie Anthers socks finished. Now I can't remember whether, I think these might have already been in my Ravelry library, which is part of the reason that I chose to do them. I'm pretty sure these are a free pattern on Ravelry. I will need to check with Mandy if free patterns count, or whether it's just paid for patterns. The Fairy Tale by Vicky, I'll leave a picture in and I'll leave details up above. Fairy Tale by Vicky Moros, could be Moros, not entirely sure. I'll leave details up there. They are stunning socks. One of the modifications that I'm going to do is, obviously, I think I looked on that and that asked for wrap and turns. That will not be happening. I do not enjoy wrap and turns.
Wrap and turn, wrap and turn. Take that's not wrap and turn now.
Or was it the Papillion that had wrap and turns? Something's got wrap and turns. I'm not doing that. I'm going to do the Shadow Stitch. The Fairy Tale socks, I'm pretty sure they've got a heel flapping gusset in them. Again, I'm just going to use the Integrated Tails by Albina McLaughlin because I'm obsessed. Let's be honest, for no other reason.
Addiction!
Yes. So the yarn I'm going to use is Any Excuse, My Yarny Corner, and this is a mystery sock club from the beginning of the year. I think this is the February one, and it's called During the War. It is it says 120, obviously I'm not going to use 20 gram money. It's 100 grams of 4-ply, so it'll be 400 meters, and it's a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It is stunning. So I'm going to use this. The mini I'm going to use in my mitered blankets and the scrappy projects. So I'm just going to do it. Will I do the toes and the cuff and that? No, I'm going to be good. I'm going to put that in my scrappy blanket. Again, Alex and Danny's shop is permanently linked down in the show notes down below in the description box, and we will make sure that they are permanently linked in any show notes because they be awesome.
Yes, they be. Hear they. I doth decree they be awesome.
They be awesome. At the moment, I think I'm going to be doing them in a 2.5mm, possibly a 9-inch circular, just to make my life easy. I'm not going to bother setting a goal for that because, let's be honest, I'm having these cast on, and can I just point out, that's not that bright. Because like back here it looks luminous. It's not that bright. Let's see. I don't think, is that bright? I'm asking the wrong person. It's not that bright.
I have one functional eye.
So that is my plan. I will leave links. No, I won't link them. I'll leave details down in the show notes about with the hashtags for the make alongs, and join because they're both awesome. So that is all I'll be working on. Are you want to show off? Are you feeling smug?
It's finished. Thank God. Oh, there we go.
Are you done?
With life or just this?
It's just that.
Yes. I'm done. It's done. It's not getting washed. I'm going to go burn it.
Are you going to take it home? Here's a question.
Gonna go burn it.
Going for last week. Are you planning on taking your WIPs home? Your FOs home?
No, you can keep the cushions.
What about the scarf?
What scarf?
Your scarf's still here.
Oh, that blue one.
I think your dishcloths are still here.
I'll take the dishcloth, the scarf Arya's, for when it's cold.
Arya doesn't need a scarf when it's cold.
Arya doesn't.
She likes the cold.
It's so she looks cute.
It won't be happening.
It won't be happening.
You'd be better leaving it here. That way I will block it for you and I'll leave the ends. And next week you'll need to show it as a proper finished object with stash mash and stuff.
Burn it. I'm joking. Oh.
I think this wool molds. I'm pretty sure this wool is mold. It's not even wool, it's acrylic. What have we been up to this week? As I said, my mood's been fairly low this week. I am feeling slightly more positive about stuff going forward.
What about stuff going backwards? How do you mood on that?
We don't look backwards, Andrew, we look forwards. I am going to purposely not cast anything else on. And monogamous knitting does not work for me. I can't just work on one project, I get bored. So the chances are Andrew's drawn a picture and I'm not entirely sure what the picture is.
Supposed to be a hand.
Well, sweetheart, I think you might need to learn how to draw. I feel slightly more positive about going forward. I'm going to try like doing the 4 projects, which means I get to swap projects out on alternate days until they're finished, and then I'll just pick up the next project that's closest to be finished. I am going to keep the garments down to a week. I'm trying to think what other smaller projects I've got sitting, I'm not entirely sure, but there should be something. I do have my Christmas socks for last year still only finished, and neither are Andrew and Ryan's, but they'll just have to wait because they've not been cast on.
No, I got my Christmas socks.
No, you didn't. What a pair of Christmas socks. Your actual Christmas socks with the wool that I bought you for last year. That pair of Christmas socks that I made you are for about 2-3 years ago. Wow. That's before I started making Christmas socks every year for yous.
Back catalogue.
Back catalogue. Back catalogue Christmas socks. Yes, so I'll just work on the next project that's close to being finished, unless it's a garment, and then it can wait until there's another garment finished. I have successfully added all my sock wool. It's not my sock wool. I have successfully added a fair amount of sock yarn with patterns onto my queue. The plan will be, I know Tonya from Karma Stitch will be having another cast on party in about 8 to 10 weeks. The plan will be, at that point, depending on what I get cast off, I will just random number generate my queue and the projects will all be there to work on. What other stuff? Not very much has been happening. I did get a letter from the hospital saying that I am on the waiting list for the liver clinic, and it was preferenced by the very long waiting list for the liver clinic. I dare say if it mucks up again, they'll think they've asked for an endoscopic ultrasound to be done. They'll probably end up doing that if I ever get taken back in again. Fingers crossed I don't. But if I do, that'll be their plan. Yes, this is the thing I forgot because I keep looking at it. On, was it Wednesday?
I'm not the right person to ask.
On Wednesday, the door went, and it was post day, and in a parcel was this. Try to straighten it up. Now, I will stick a picture in. I'll stick a picture in of the picture that this drawing was taken from. If you can't guess, this is Arya, and it was done by the lovely Mr. Mouse. Mr. Mouse? What does Amanda call Dave? Can you remember? The lovely Dave. The wonderful Mr. Davies. This is stunning. Now, see if you see here, Arya has a ridge in her nose. Captured it beautifully. This is stunning. Now, when it came, I do have a bit of a sad story about my photo frame. When it came, I'd taken a picture and I sent it to Ryan, and Ryan was like, "Oh, that looks like Arya." I'm like, because it is. So I then sent the picture that Dave had used to make the picture. There's wee bits in it that just, like, see up here, and like there, and like there. It's awesome! So, what?
You're pointing bits on the picture. I don't know if that's what you were talking about. I just saw.
Dainty on my frame. Now, this frame was intact up until 2 hours ago. I had decided that the wool that I'd picked wasn't going to work because it was only a 50 gram ball. So that was no use. So I'd pulled this out, put the cube back in, turned round, and all I heard was thump and smash. Turned round, and this was lying on the floor and the glass was smashed. I was not amused. What I've done, now I don't know what this, you see it's all shiny. What I've done, I had some sort of plastic film. My concern is I don't want the canvas, and obviously it's done on canvas. I don't want it getting manky. So what I've done is I've actually covered it with film, so that way the print, it's not print, this is hand drawn by the wonderful Mr. Davies. I don't want this getting manky, so I've covered it with film. Mr. Bark assures me that you can actually get another bit of glass to fit it. At the moment I don't know if I need one because I've covered it with film, so it should be fine. So I would like to say to Mandy and Dave, thank you very much for my lovely picture. I love it. I really do love it. And Dave, despite Mandy's message in your birthday card that you very kindly picked for me, I'm glad you agree that I'm a fairy princess. My unicorn is in the shed.
Unicorn?
Yes, I'm a fairy princess with a unicorn.
Mm.
See, Dave knows true me. I am a fairy princess. And not just because I've got pixie ears. Did you say elephant ears?
No, I said the elf ears. Proper pointy.
Anything else? I don't think so. This is particularly long.
I have nothing to share.
Nothing at all.
No wisdom, because
Let's be honest, that was
nothing up
never
in
ever
here.
going to happen.
the viewers will know by this point for the straight, I'm pretty sure, 2 projects that I was sitting doing mines for. There's nothing up in here.
The lights are on and nobody is home.
I wouldn't even say the lights are on.
Does that mean that next week you will have a new project that you're working on?
Yes. Yes, because there was a project sitting there. Apparently it's 2 inches of ribbon.
What? A ribbon? How many inches?
2 inches.
4 inches, Andrew. 4.
4 inches of ribbon.
When we were doing the show notes, I had said to Andrew, what projects have you been working on? I've only been working on my blanket. I've only got my blanket to work on. I was like, no, because you were given the sockhead cowl. I've not got that pattern. I was like, what kind of pattern do you need, Andrew? Because quite clearly I told you, 4 inches of ribbon. And given how many times you phoned me last week, could you not have phoned and asked what you were to do on that pattern?
No, because I kind of forgot I had it till this morning.
Yes.
Ooh, there's a project bag. Normal wee bit out, we're going to be proper YouTubers now. Proper YouTubers.
Proper YouTubers.
Proper YouTubers. Yo guys, how's it going? Your YouTube family here. If you would like to, we would very much appreciate it. If you liked if you want, you like the video tells. Because we can see the dislikes. You can't on videos anymore. We can. Do we get many dislikes? Do I get disliked?
Often.
Yes.
By me.
Oh. To like and subscribe, or subscribe. We want to subscribe. Subscribe. More of us, or me. My mum
There's
did
a
make
mass exit of subscribers.
My mum did make a comment that if we get to 200 subscribers, I work on 2 projects at once. Well, Whoopie! No, I have more than 2 projects on the go.
Your love life is not one of them.
That's not a project at this point. So yes, if you would want to like and subscribe, tell your friends, be our friend, share, be our friend. Can have a party, I don't know. Subscriber goals, we need to think of them.
What?
I said for subscriber goals, we need to think of them. 200 subscribers and you have to dye me yarn, especially for me. And so we'll do a giveaway of all my finished projects. Won't be much in there.
And again, a subscriber sleeve.
Yeah, we're fine. We don't need that. We've seen your mistakes.
Knit hours are a Wednesday at 8 PM British Summer Time and 11 AM on Fridays. Again, British Summer Time.
It's in the summer.
Where we're supposed to be.
It's not that sunny.
It's not that sunny. Yes, so as Andrew says, if you would be very kind and subscribe, that would be awesome. No, you need to stop carrying on because I forgot what I was saying. Yes, so we hope you have a very, very crafty week,
Yes.
and we will see you back here again next week.
Yeah.
Bye.